Welcome to week 1 of English 102, and the goal this week is really for you to get oriented to the class, to feel confident finding things and knowing where you're going to go, and then just introduce ourselves to one another. So when you first come into the class, just a reminder, this week you're going to land on this page that says Start Here, and that's going to walk you through a lot of beginning information. But then in the subsequent weeks, your main area is going to be this area, weekly materials. And so after the first week, I'll make this the landing page. That means when you log in, this is what you'll see. And in those weekly materials pages, you will go into the folder for that week. So this, for example, is this week, week 1. So I just want to show you what you're looking at here, or explain to you what you're looking at. So at the top of the page, I'll always put a chart, and that chart will tell you the days of the week where something is due, what is due, how it connects to learning outcomes for the class. Those are the things you should learn as a result of the class, and what materials you will need in order to complete that. So for example, you see this week you have an orientation video, and in that video there are questions, just to make sure you're paying attention, that you answer as you go. That's a participation grade, very simple. Then you'll read through the syllabus and the course content. Remember, a syllabus is a contract for the class. So all the details about grading and what assignments we're doing, attendance, late work, plagiarism, all of that is in there. So I know it's not the most exciting thing you'll see, but you need to take some time and read through that so there are no surprises. Every online class now at Gardner Webb requires the enrollment verification activity, or the EVA, so you'll also complete that on Wednesday. And then there's a forum called Bat Signals where, if you have a problem, you say, "Whoo, I need help." It's like putting out a bat signal. So I'm going to ask you to go ahead and subscribe to that so you'll know if you ask a question and I answer it, or a peer answers it, or if someone else asks a question. But what I want to focus on now for a minute is this Thursday activity, the introductory video. So below this chart, you see learning outcomes. On the left-hand side, you see course learning outcomes. Those stay the same throughout the class. Every English 102 class has those 8 course learning outcomes. But on the right, you see weekly learning outcomes. So those are how this week we are meeting one or more of those course learning outcomes with our activities. So see, number 1 says to reflect on your history of writing practices and your attitude towards writing, and an introductory video on the discussion board. So if we look up here, that's happening on Thursday. So let's go check that out. On Thursday of this week, after you've done kind of the business stuff on Wednesday, I'm asking you to come in here and respond to this discussion prompt. This is actually a screenshot from a page in the textbook, which you should be ordering and acquiring. I'm sure you can find used copies if you would prefer that. But I've taken a screenshot, and these questions are asking you to think about your history as a writer and as a reader. So, for example, if I were going to create the video of this, which I'm doing now, it's kind of meta, I would say in answer to number 1, before I start writing a draft, I spend a lot of time thinking about it. I actually process a lot up here before it goes anywhere. I do a lot of free writing. I'm a messy first writer. I have daybooks where I write a lot of things down, and then I sort through it later when I feel like I have an aha moment, a light bulb idea that I want to work with. And when I'm writing, I usually prefer mornings, or I like to have music. I actually just took my earbuds out to make this video for you. So I like quiet. I don't want people to interrupt me, but I don't mind certain genres of music while I write and work. I do tend to, if I'm feeling pretty confident about the idea, I'll go to a keyboard in word process. But if I'm still pretty early on, I may map it visually or work in my daybook. And then first drafts, notice I've just answered question 2, so now I'm moving to question 3. First drafts are usually on screen, and they are long, and then ultimately I'll go through those drafts and chop like half of it out, which is just unnecessary, and start to shape it into something else. And a lot of these strategies I've learned, obviously I'm an English teacher and I like to write, But I learned these strategies in college and kind of finding out what worked for me. Me personally, if I spend too much time overthinking early drafts, it can become paralyzing and I don't want to write anything. So I learned if I can just let myself just go for it and write some long, messy drafts, then I'm pretty vigorous in shaping and cutting things later. So in your introductory video, you're going to talk through your habits and your history as a writer. And it might be that you haven't had a writing class in a long time. So think about your habits and history in writing notes or letters or messages to people. You know, it could even be with technology or on a device, or maybe the kind of writing you do at work. And it could be very different than the kind of writing I just described. But just start to become aware of those things and think about them. So you'll make a video of that, and then you're going to notice in this is what I call, let me skip this back over. This is what I call a module. In other words, this module has different pieces in it. Now you're seeing all of them at one time because I'm the instructor, but as a student, you'll see one at a time. All of these pieces are here to help you complete the task. So this video I'm making right now, when you look at this module, will be at the top of the module. It's currently not since I'm making it. So there's a PDF here that shows you if you want to use the tool inside of Blackboard that makes videos called Kaltura Mashup. You can click on that and we'll show you how to do it. But you can also make a video with your smartphone or your device. Super easy with your laptop. Some people there are all kinds of technology tools like Screencast-O-Matic or Screencast-O-Matic, whatever. And if all of this has you going, she's making me make a video and it's the first week of class, it's really not a deal breaker. It's not a big deal. We can figure that out later. But I would just like for us to see each other and introduce ourselves to one another. It's kind of hard in an online class to feel like there are other people there, and that's really important. So I would like for you to try to make the video, and if you're just having too many troubles with the technologies, just send me an email or post in bat signals, and then we can work that out. But that's an overview of what we're doing this week, and I look forward to meeting you.